The last week of March went by so fast. We're 3 months into 21. Oh, well, whatever. Tori and Jonathan, I like to help people tell their stories, and this is TJ Talks, the podcast. I wrote this podcast out for the most part the same time I posted last week's episode, but right as I was getting around to doing everything and all my other stuff over the weekend, I'm getting right to it. I just did a reshoot last Sunday. The reshoot went fabulously, and I'm saying it just like that on purpose because the first time was basically the first time tackling a project of that task. So you think everything goes out, then you realize all the minute details can really mess it up. Like, we got a lot of usable footage, but the end product was to make a course. It didn't read that much like a course, or it felt like it was a rushed course because of how much you tried to pack into one. This time we only focused on one, and you can tell there was breathing room. That is a whole topic for a whole nother day, but wait a minute, flip over. I was about to regurgitate last week's episode. Look, now you can leave me a message. People are hitting up my phone right now. We gotta finish this. Still rolling? We still rolling. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. I, for one, struggled a lot with always battling with, I don't like repeating myself. I really, really, really don't like repeating myself. I don't like doing the same task over and over again. As artists, I'm convinced we all feel that way. We don't want to repeat or redo the same task over and over again. In the process of working at your craft, there are some areas where it's inevitable. You have to repeat it. Redoing is okay. Just because you're redoing something doesn't mean that there isn't a chance to do it better, not a chance to see or optimize the process, or there's not a chance to go elsewhere. While you're redoing something you've done a million times, after you've optimized the process, you can let your mind wander. For instance, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. While you're copying and pasting, you're not thinking about it anymore. Use that time to let your mind do other things. For instance, write a story, thinking about stuff you got to do at home, chores. Figure out how you're going to talk with that person you haven't talked to in a while. Things you can do. But the beauty of redoing, though, is you got to remember to wash. You have to wash it off and let it go. Like nowadays, everybody does a whole lot of washing your hands. My knuckles are proof. We do a lot of washing our hands. Make sure you wash it. Rinse, get it off. That dirt goes away. And once you get all that out of your mind, you can then focus on other things. In that rinsing process, while you're rinsing, getting off all that built up soap, or in the creative aspect, while you're rinsing, clearing your mind by tackling a task that doesn't require 100% of your brain power, while you're rinsing, let stuff go. Break down into details. From a scientist's perspective, you're breaking down bacteria, but from a real world perspective, you're getting rid of soap. From an artist perspective, you're basically washing all that hatings, all that stuff in your spirit that's always saying, I can't do that, I won't do that, they don't believe in me, I don't like them. Just wash it away. Let it all go. All that hate's holding you back. Whether you say it's not holding me back or not, it's holding you back. And do keep in mind, we are our own worst haters. So if you are thinking about the actual physical manifestation of a hater, do keep in mind they have nothing on you. So wash you down that drain also. And repeat. While you're repeating your process, keep in mind the fact of same way nowadays we have to wash our hands frequently, often. As soon as you come back home, before you eat, wash, rinse, repeat. The key word of repeating is you're always going to have your internal hater. There's a benefit to having an internal hater, but do keep in mind, don't let your internal hater stop you from doing or trying something new or going off into la la land. That is important, especially as an artist, a business person, or regular everyday people. This is general right now today. Wash, rinse, repeat. When you're tackling any task, that is a process I've learned early. Wash, rinse, repeat. I can also tie that to another model that I picked up from school. It was the RISE model. Reflect, inquire, suggest, and explain, or exposit. I believe it was one of those two. But the RISE model also lends itself to the wash, rinse, repeat model. You reflect on whatever you're tackling. You can inquire with yourself or with others for context or clarity. And then you can suggest things, like for instance, details you might want to do better or areas that you could also grow. And then exposition. I guess you can tie it all together. We'll just leave it at that. But wash, rinse, repeat, rise, they all lend themselves back to what I've learned. That process is what will help you with what I had to deal with last weekend, which was nerves. Yes, this was 2 different podcasts I put together. Rock with it. Wash, rinse, repeat is the number one reason to build good habits and all that other stuff. And they should also help you when your nerves come up. Real story. Last week, while I was working on this shoot, for some reason, the day before, I had all my gear set together, set it aside, charged up, reformatted everything put together, packed away in their bags, nice and neat. And then while I'm sitting there figuring out all the stuff that I know I needed to tackle the following day, for some reason, I felt nervous. And I really had to sit with myself and ask, why are you nervous? You've been doing this for years. You are probably the most prepared right now than anybody can be tackling this same job, but yet you're still nervous. It was at that point when I wrote this podcast down and realized, wash, rinse, repeat. If you are tackling this task and it's something you've done before, why are you overthinking it? Why are you getting nervous? Why was this festering sense of what's going to go wrong? What's going to go wrong? What's going to go wrong? If you've already washed, rinsed, and repeat many times, don't overthink it. Just wash, rinse. I had to tell myself that, and it's also part of the process and what I'm passing on to y'all. Figure out your wash, rinse, repeat for whatever you're tackling, be it your art, your business, or your relationships. They're always happen in cycles. So once you've gone through that cycle enough times, you should be able to handle it the next time. And I'm convinced I've said everything I wanted to say this week. Try not to ramble. I hope you got that. And if you did, let me know. Torian Jonathan. I like to help people tell their stories. And this is TJ Talks, the podcast. And I hope to talk to y'all next week. Later.